It's Unscripted. We're back. P-Funk, Spawn Vicious, Nard the Madman, Keys. We got a special guest in the building today, in the house.
Big brother.
Yes, Ab-Liva.
Yo.
Yes.
What up?
Family.
Yeah. Listen. I'm going to tell y'all, man, y'all always know I always have like a quick history with some of these guys. So with Liva, right? Liva was like, and he could attest to this. He was my first artist that I recorded. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
So I'm gonna tell y'all, right?
Wow.
Real quick, right? Okay. So this is Liva had just started. In fact, this is like what, 20 years ago?
Yeah,
maybe 20, 25 years ago.
20.
Yeah. 20, 25 years ago, right? So I'm in the studio, and at the time it was two other producers there, Groove and Rug, and so at the time I was doing mixtapes for Platinum Bound. Shout out Platinum Bound, PB.
Shout out.
Yep,
We got to get the shout out
We're
button.
going to have a shout out button next week.
That's your fucking fault,
Promise.
bro. I'm only playing.
Scouts honor.
Yeah.
No,
we say that. I want to let y'all know we say that every episode.
Every episode.
Yep. So anyway,
To the point we're just going to keep going shout out.
So anyway, right? So nobody wanted to record my mixtapes, right? I had all these artists lined up, right? And I was like, yo, so Groove, shout out Groove, Don Groove. Don Groove showed me like the basics to like record and like how to just start and stop, right? So I got excited, I got high, and then Liva called. Liva called.
I got you.
No, this is exactly what I said. I said, Liva, listen. I just learned how to record, and I need somebody to like, practice on.
That's exactly what you said.
Exactly what I said, right? So Liva says, I'm down there. Got some shit.
I got a bunch of shit I wanted to record.
Right.
Let's rock.
It works out.
It worked out. Now I'm not gonna lie, those recordings probably was fucking horrible. But
Oh yeah. Funk was worse at the beginning. Yeah, but he eventually got it together.
I got it together. But needless to say, right? He was really like my first
Day
fucking
one.
artist, day one, that recorded with me.
Most definitely.
So the rest of you motherfuckers that said no, fuck y'all, man. So anyway, man. Yep, that was a little history.
Hey, man. And also, we got a new surroundings. We're in new surroundings.
We're new surroundings. Shout out Milk Boy. Shout out
Milk
Milk
Boy,
man.
Milk
We're in
Boy.
new surroundings. Had to change it up on everybody.
Yeah, this is where I got my
This is where you got yours?
this is where I got my start at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. This is it.
We could get. You know what? Maybe we can do a studio story. Like
True studio stories. We might have to do some true studio stories later.
I got a Mac Miller one, but we can do that one maybe. I got a Mac Miller one.
Oh yeah, we got. Oh yeah.
Got a
Okay,
Mac
we can share that one.
Yeah, we can share that one. So, all right, but look, let's get started. I want to talk about what's going on in news today. MCs that's in today's era, the new MC. Recently, if y'all seen in the news, you seen give a couple examples. Young Thug got caught on a RICO Act. Him and I forget the other rapper.
Gunna.
It was Gunna. Yep, it was him and Gunna. They got caught up in a RICO Act. Besides him, you got Casanova. He got caught up on federal charges. Yeah. Yeah. Plus
Philadelphia's AR-AB.
Yeah, AR-AB. Now I don't want to pick on nobody in particular with this, but I guess my question is, and I always talk about this kind of off air. In the beginning, between that and them getting caught up in RICO charges, and a lot of rappers just fucking dying nowadays, right? Like, I guess my question is like, how did this change really happen? And like, I guess that's where it's like, like the change of it, like, like for example, like, like back when we were listening to music, and it sounds old as shit, where it's like, back in the day, it wasn't like that. But like we were saying off air, like rappers didn't die over real beef besides what, like Tupac and Biggie. Other than that, motherfuckers was dying over natural causes, with the exception of maybe what, Big L. I think, but again, those are like isolated situations, So you know,
I think with more rappers or more people.
talking to Mike, I can't hear you.
Oh yeah. So I was saying, I think with more people and more rappers, I think that you got Instagram, you got everything else that's making it.
Like, is it?
It's heighten it.
So do we?
So
need
we're
to
more
blame-
aware now. But
So do you
know,
blame the old heads of rap for not teaching these young niggas how to?
You can't. Well, that you can't blame that on.
It's the same thing like the streets.
Well,
kinda.
no,
Like,
no.
Like I feel like this. Like
No, it's not the same. First of all, the economy's different. So it's like, if you're a young rapper right now, you kind of cashing out right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard for you as a rapper of whatever era, unless you're making the money that they're making, to kind of say anything to them, because they're like, yo, we're making the money. How can you tell us what we're doing right or wrong with this, that, and the other thing? But that's something totally separate from culturally where kids are coming from nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And what they see on TV. Like, the difference between what we saw on TV to become rappers is different than what they see on TV to become rappers. If I'm just going back to me wanting to be a rapper as a kid at, 15, 16, 17 years old, and I looked at BET, was where we got our videos at, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking what's there. Okay, there's Cool J, there's Public Enemy, there's Brand Nubian, there's Mobb Deep, there's 2 Live Crew. So all these things are in this place, and if you coming from a poor neighborhood and you being a rapper, you trying to change your life. That's your goal at the end of the day. Fuck with everything. I mean, you want to be a talented rapper, but you trying to change your life. You trying to get your ass out the hood.
And I feel like the lines get blurred in this generation.
Yeah.
And what I can speak to is back in the day, it was kind of like if you were in the streets and you were trying to make it happen in rap, you had to understand that you had to stop what you were doing to try to put everything into being a rapper or following a dream, producer, whatever the case may be. Now the line is so blurred. They want to run in the streets and still run in the studio. You can't.
Well,
you
that's
can't
the
play
that's
both
the other
sides.
part of it.
Like, why is there not a person, right? Like, why is there not a person in your camp, like you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
That whether it's your manager, the people put money behind you, and they're saying, all right, I get it. This is the image you want to portray. But from this point on, you cannot do this.
Yeah.
Well, you cannot, like, in other words, right? Like, there's no way for me to say this wouldn't be a smart thing. Like, in other words, I get some money, and then what I do is I give Nard 40 grand or whatever to go buy a bird, whatever the price is for whatever it is. Don't quote me, but whatever the price is, and he goes out. To me, why am I doing that?
Well, I mean, you
Like,
first
that's
of
what
all,
I'm saying.
first
Like,
of all,
why
you feel like you're supporting the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like in a weird Robin Hood way, that's what you feel like you're doing. But the other side of that is the ethics are different than when we were coming up. You got to remember, the motherfucker who was doing this shit in the streets, they didn't want to be seen. They didn't want to be on camera. That was, you know what I mean? They didn't want that part of that shit being done. And nowadays, that's part of selling your rap career. You have to prove, there's this hardcore thing about being real that you have to you're not separating the artist from real life. And they're trying harder and harder and harder not to separate it. But the problem is that when you do that shit perpetually and shit, when you get caught up in shit, now you're trying to undo that. Now you're trying to say that it's not real and it's that and the other thing. It's like, wait, here you go. I'm sitting here YouTube. I'm a YouTube boy and shit. Just the other day, I'm sitting here looking at YouTube. I just pulled it up. Compilation of Ab snitching on himself and other people. And it's a 4-minute video of him just talking about shit that he's done in the streets. So it's like,
I remember that video.
I remember that. That wasn't bad. That wasn't good.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But he did. But
I remember
did
that.
respect
He was in the
DVD.
studio at that
He was in
time.
the studio. Did it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, it's like, it's. I say it all the time. Karis once said in the 90s, he said, yo, the way technology and music is going to be working, they're going to be using these rappers' lyrics that they use in their songs and stuff like that.
And then it goes
them in the
to
court of law.
them not thinking that it happened to them.
Yeah. Exactly.
So here's the question I have for you, Lava, right?
Mm-hmm.
You being an artist, seasoned artist, when you came up, major figures, right? You guys, I know all y'all, right? But how come, right, with you guys, you guys didn't do that? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you had the people around you, and then the lifestyle that, prior to music, like, why did you make that choice to say, yo, I gotta leave that shit alone? More or less than nowadays, like, you know, a kid, because it's the same mind. It's the same thing. It's like, I can't say these kids are stupid. It's just the fact that, like, you know, what made you say, man, I can't do that?
Well, let's add to the aspect, too, that there's social media around. So that wasn't available.
That wasn't available. But we knew that we had a goal. The goal was to get a record deal. We had one studio, my man Peanut Crib, you dig what I'm saying? And that's where we all went recorded. Wallow, even before he went to jail and whatnot, we all went to Peanut Crib, and we understood that we wanted to get a record deal. So we had to slow down all the dumb shit we were doing to be able to focus on the music. You dig what I'm saying? And understanding that to get somewhere, you really had to, this is back before social media, so you had to go up New York to politic with cats. You dig what I'm saying? To run up on DJs, to get on mixtapes, to go up labels, have battles, all that shit is from that era. So, and able to do that, to be able to do that, you couldn't like still be running the streets. Like, you know, we had to dedicate the time to being in the studio and then driving up New York and going to sessions and, you know what I'm saying, the politicking and all those things that were necessary back then. So we knew we had to put the street shit on the back burner to move ourselves forward.
But I mean, and then even just to speak to it, it's like the method that, like I said, going back to it, cats are really trying to prove their authenticity a lot of times. And, you know, we talk about this on previous podcasts. The whole cats sometimes don't understand that fame does not necessarily equate to making money. Yeah. So they're a lot of times cats are really doing things to be famous. I mean, you know, we've talked about podcasts where, you know, cats is just, you know,
doing dumb shit,
dropping locations and running up on people, rumbling and stuff like that, and taping it. Like, you know, it's almost, it's no different. It's necessarily no different than what the guy did in Buffalo this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he wanted to be seen. He's going to live stream his actions. You know what I'm saying?
I guess what y'all saying is maybe social media is playing a big part of this.
Absolutely.
It's a drug.
Absolutely.
It's a drug, literally.
Yeah. When you literally, in all these cases, every last one of these cases, ARAB that we speak about, Casanova, you know what I'm saying, Tekashi, I mean, add him into it too. Every time you hear them talk about it, the prosecutors talk about it, the first thing they say is, we looked on their social media. It's the first thing they come out their mouth.
The crazy part about it was so funny, right? I'm watching the one with Young Thug, right? So they had him they brought him up for in front of the judge, right? And so the prosecutor says, one of the questions was, so did you listen to his music? She said, yes, I definitely listened to his music. Like, in other words, it's like, yes, you have freedom of speech, but we're not stupid. Like, of course. And a lot of this, like, even in his music, like, at some point, like, I always say, a lot of MCs back in the day, even when they were talking about drugs, most of the time, they weren't talking about them. They were talking about themselves, or if they were talking about themselves, it was something that they did in the past.
But in back to it, in order to make themselves more real, like you know, the Nas of the world, or even Abs and stuff like that, they spoke about a lot of stuff in the abstract. There might have been stuff, a situation they was pulling from in the hood, or this, that, and other thing. But they wasn't saying names. They wasn't saying times. They wasn't saying dates. They wasn't saying how many bullets got shot. They wasn't saying the car that it was in. And so that it coincides when somebody gets caught up, and then they in there and they having to do the snitch thing or the rat thing or whatever they doing and shit. They telling the story and it coincides with what you just said on a record. Then, you know, it's really kind of hard for you to back out and be like, I was making this story up.
Hell of a coincidence.
Another thing that I saw, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you ain't cut me off at all.
Is back, you could say the generation before, the current one, were a lot of guys that were coming out of the streets and selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? Moving around, whatever you were doing. And a lot of this generation is using the drugs as opposed to, you know what I'm saying?
So, in other words, you're not glamorizing the come up you made off of drugs. You're glamorizing the usage of drugs.
Exactly, which is a different.
It's a junkie culture.
Exactly, it's a different message that's being sent, and you know, and then like how you see it play out.
To get high. That's what you're saying. Like,
some parts of it is that because, like, I mean, we literally, for the worst shit of the drug culture, we had songs against it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Slow Down was like, yo, don't do crack. You know what I'm saying? That was a part of the culture. It was ingrained in it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, yo, fucking, you know, drip, 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 and serve. I mean, lean. It's there. And it's funny. I was just having a conversation about the fact that cats. I was in Atlanta. I was like, shout out Ro Parrott. Shout out, man.
Shout out.
He's a super DJ act who cats don't even know that shit. But
okay.
But we were actually just talking about the culture of rap music, and he was talking about how his connection to it is a Houston thing. And, when, Screw and them, he was doing that. But I'm trying to explain to him, that shit's not new for Philadelphia. That shit's some shit from the 70s. You know what I'm saying? That's not a new culture to Philadelphia. Before it was, scissor, it was pancakes and syrup.
Yeah, pancakes and syrup. My pop was on this shit back in the early 80s and shit.
Funny part about it, a bunch of old motherfuckers have been tell you, man, we been doing that shit. It just wasn't popularized.
That shit.
Really, the first funny part about it is I always thought syrup drinking niggas was originally from Philly. Like that was some Philly shit. I ain't gonna front.
It is.
I ain't gonna front.
It absolutely is.
First boy I bumped into in 93, and this is way before that. I mean, motherfuckers was drinking syrup before that. He was from Philly. Nigga was drinking juice.
Man, rest in peace, Malik B. That's my brother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that was his intro into that world, this shit. You know what I'm saying? And ever since I've known him since 1991, that was his drug of choice. And ultimately you got to realize at the end of the day, that's kind of like a rich man's high at a certain point. The pharmaceutical version of fucking heroin is a fucking rich man's high. It's no different. The liquid, the promethazine ain't nothing but fucking a liquid version of heroin. And when you don't have the finances to take care of yourself that way, a $5 hit of heroin is the next easiest thing. So it's and then cats, speaking to it, cats' kidneys is failing and at 24 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no matter how much weed I smoke, I don't know if my kidney's gonna fail off this thing.
Right about that.
So
man, meet me in the gym.
So let's switch subjects. Let's talk about live for a little while.
Hey,
yeah, listen. So I always get the pleasure of talking to Lava all the time. A lot of people don't get the pleasure of talking because if y'all don't know, this is one of the funniest guys you could ever fucking be around. Tells the greatest fucking stories, man. When I tell you this man tells stories,
true Hollywood stories.
What?
Real life
throwback.
But that's because he's done a lot in his career.
Absolutely,
from the group Major Figures.
Shout out.
Yes, to Re-Up Gang, to solo projects, man. To group and solo projects. Let's start with. So where do I want to start? Let's start with. I'm not gonna go back as far as the figures. We'll start with Re-Up Gang. Right?
Okay.
A lot of people when I always tell them that I'm around Live, they always say, "Yo, how the fuck did they actually get together?" And most of the time, I be like, I really don't fucking know. I just know that Lava came into the studio one day, right? And he said, yeah, so, we got this group now called the Re-Up Gang. and then I'll get a schedule because he was my first artist that I was recording. So I get a schedule of when he be in town and out of town. So I guess let's talk about the introduction to the Re-Up Gang. How did that even start?
Yeah. I got to go back a little bit to really start it off.
Okay.
So Gil and I and the Figures, was trying to get our thing going and whatnot, started. So Gil signed a solo deal with Suave House.
Okay.
At Suave House, I would fly down to Houston with him, Tony Draper. And they took a liking to me too, Tony Draper. So they were trying to sign me to a solo deal as well. So they would have me traveling with Gil, helping structure songs, and you dig what I'm saying? And they would court me to sign, a solo deal with Suave House as well. So they were sending Gil to work with Pharrell, who he hadn't blew up yet. It was the summer, I think, right before Pharrell really blew up. And, they had me going, flying down with him and whatnot. So, we get down there, and they didn't know I rapped at first. So Pharrell and Pusha pick us up from the airport. We ride in the car and whatnot, talking. We get to the studio. They put on beats and whatnot. So Gil spitting. I think Pusha might have spit a rap. I spit a rap. They're like, "Oh, big man, you can rhyme." Oh man, big man, nice. You know what I'm saying?
These Pharrell beats?
Yeah, these are Pharrell beats. At the beginning.
That's
so
how it always starts with you.
yeah.
Big man, you can rhyme.
Yeah, big man, you can rhyme. We thought you were security. So they took a liking to me. So they weren't sure. So Pharrell wasn't sure if I was going to sign with Suave House or not. So he was like, "Yo, man, whatever you're going to do, we want to rock with you. Like if you're going to do Suave House, whatever you're going to do, we love to work with you." So I was like, "Cool, I'm down and whatnot." So ultimately, I didn't sign with Suave House. Me and Gil, Major Figures, we did a Rough Nation thing and whatnot, and then I started rocking with Dr. Dre. But what happened was 6 months after that, they came to Philly for Philly Most Wanted video shoot.
Okay.
And
shout out.
I remember that video shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I heard they were up there, so I shot up there and caught up with them. And they're like, "Yo, what's up?" We chopping it up and whatnot. So Pharrell's like, "Yo, everybody in Philly can rap. Like everybody and their mom, little kids, grandmoms, everybody can rap."
I know that.
Yeah, I mean, so they had took a liking to my homeboy Roscoe Pico Chain.
Yeah,
and
shout out.
So I was like,
Roscoe.
yeah. So I said, it's my young boy. I mean, so for us, like, "No, man, like I think he's dope. This, that, and the other." And they, so we left off that day, and then I didn't see them for 2 years. I went to LA, started working with Dr. Dre. I moved to LA, was out there locked in the Aftermath camp for like 2 years. I came home like a Christmas break. Happened to go out one night to Transit on Spring Garden, and I was about to go in, and they wanted like $100 to get in and whatnot. So Reek Wallace was coming out and said, "Live, you trying to go in? Go armband." Shout out to Reek.
Shout out.
So I walk in, and as I'm going up the steps, pushing Pharrell coming down the steps. But I hadn't seen him since 2 years prior at the Most Wanted video shoot. So they're like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "Yo," I ain't seen him or whatnot. So they're like, "Yo, we on now. Pharrell got the label deal. We working on the album. We just was talking about putting you on a record." And in my mind, I'm like, "Man, it sounds like some bullshit." I mean, I ain't seen niggas in 2 years. And not,
what you talking about?
You dig what I'm saying? They're like, "Nah, man, nigga, is this still your number?" And I was like, "Nah." So I gave Push my number and whatnot. So this was like Saturday night. So Monday morning, I get a call. I answer. "This is Nicole from Star Trek. You're on flight such and such going to Virginia on Wednesday." I was like, "Oh, these niggas wasn't bullshit." Yeah, I mean, so from that point, on Wednesday, I got up, was flying down. I flew down there, and we wound up doing the song "God Damn," for that album and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I got a chance to hear Laura Willing like in his raw, it wasn't even done, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this shit is about to like fuck the game up."
Serious, huh?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. So that started our brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I went back to LA, still rocking with Dr. Dre and them. But when they were going out on the road, like on a promo tour, like, for the album, they was like, "Yo, what's going on with the Dre shit?" And I said, it's kind of moving slow. Dre working at his own pace. Yeah. So they was like, "Listen, man, if you can come out on the road, come out and fuck with us." So I went to Dre. I was like, "Listen, my niggas got some shit going on and whatnot." So he's like, "Listen, now go do your thing. You still can come here, get beats right, all that shit." So I was out, you know what I'm saying? I went on the road with the Clips, and that's what turned into, me going on tour with them and locking in. And that was like the start of the Re-Up Gang. It was us three. And while we were on tour, we were watching Big Star DVDs.
Yeah. Too Raw for the Streets.
Too Raw for the Streets.
Shout out.
And Sandman was on there. You know what I mean? So Pusha was a big fan of him.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, DVDs. So he was like, "Yo, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, I know him from the city. Like, we see each other at the studio or whatnot." So he was like, "Yo, I think nigga dope. Why don't we, go to the studio, go to Virginia, lock in, to see what we do." So Sand came out. I flew from LA. We went down to Virginia, locked in, did a few records and shit, came out fire. And we was like, "Man, we think we got something here." And then we got it for cheap. Yeah, three. Came right out after that.
So it's so funny, right? I went to one show. So again, this is before fucking social media. So it's all really about just word of mouth. So I know they were big, right? So
look, I got footage.
Yeah. So I go to the show in New York. I forget what the fuck the spot was.
Might have been Knitting Factory.
No. What was the spot? It was like an old church they turned into.
Oh,
concert hall, right?
Yeah.
So
I know the spot you're talking
get
about.
there, right? First of all, this motherfucker's jam packed from the rooftop.
Oh, that's not Irving Plaza, is it?
No, that's not the name. No. It was a church that they converted into a venue.
It was down in Midtown.
Yeah.
It was in Midtown.
I forget the name of it.
I
know exactly what you're talking
about.
The
name of that shit, right? But I've been there a few times. But it might still be a fucking spot. They might change the name. But anyway, right? So I go there, right? So it's me, Biz, Oz, I don't know who else. Might have been just us three, right? But so we go there, right? When I tell you, right? Like, so this would fuck me up. The fact of the matter is, the Re-Up Gang really never had a real record. Like it was just a bunch of it was
mixtape
shit, right?
Right.
But when it was
heavy,
right?
it was heavy.
When I tell you these people knew
Losing their
every
mind.
fucking
Right.
word to their freestyles.
Look, we got it for cheap. Volume 1, 2, and 3.
Bro, I
look,
like,
I'm telling you, I still got the shit in my like, yo.
Listen. I walked out, I said, these niggas got a hit.
No, they
And listen, live I tell you, I'm hard on the fucking artist, man. I'm hard on them, man. Not on duty. I'm really fucking tough on artists, man.
Granddaddy, Grand Chief here, the number one. There he
Listen,
is.
man. Listen, man. But I was a believer, and I was like, I always ask live. I'll be like, yo, live, like, yo, man.
And that was the internet, really. Yeah. I mean, because we did the first two with Clinton Sparks.
Yep.
And he wasn't, back then it was what's my man for Philly?
Which one?
They do the mixtapes. Had Uzi. Drama.
DJ Drama.
Drama them were known for the mixtapes.
Mixtapes, yeah.
Don Cannon and Drama them were known for the mixtapes. And Clinton Sparks was really just breaking into the internet, using the internet to put the mixtapes out. Okay. So we chose him because you dig what I'm saying, it was far reaching. Right. And everybody was kind of like, damn, why y'all use Clinton Sparks as opposed to like Drama and whatnot. Right. And we kind of went with, man, like he got a huge online presence. And this before people really was using the internet like that.
I mean, this when Dat Piff.
Yeah,
it was all kind of starting.
It was all kind of starting.
It's like Instagram when it first popped.
Exactly. So what happened was, what caught us off guard was when the mixtape first came out, it didn't hit all the mom and pops like all the other mixtapes were, and we kind of was like, yo, what the fuck is our mixtape at? Shit, yeah, I mean, it was online.
Yeah, it was on hip hop.
Yeah, and we was like, what the fuck? But we went to our first show in New York at the Knitting Factory, and we get there, and the whole crowd was like,
everybody knew it.
Really?
And everybody knew every word.
Every fucking word.
Every fucking word.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? And it was the internet. And we went outside and it was cats that had flew from like Oakland, San Francisco, like you know what I'm saying, from all over that came to the show that like listened to it online, was fans of it and knew all the lyrics and shit.
I mean,
it was crazy.
You always say you expect, success, but did you guys really
grassroots?
Did you grasp the concept like, we really got something in the beginning, or did y'all know that? Did y'all know that already before?
We did. Here's the thing. We knew that we were dope. You know what I'm saying? I knew that the niggas I was rhyming with was dope as shit. Yeah. And I'm good. Yeah. Not on no cocky shit, but I get busy.
Real, yeah. Right, no.
So we knew that the music that we were making was dope as shit, but we knew that what the streets want and what the industry wants is sometimes two totally different things. Mm-hmm. So we knew that doing the mixtape shit, because the Clips had the label drama going on at the time, we were going to do a mixtape. And Sandman and I come from the mixtape world. We were like, yo, we got to lock in and do this shit, like really do this shit, like knock this shit out like an album. You dig what I'm saying? Like hooks, bridges, attacking these beats like they were ours, as opposed to whoever songs they was, like really put this shit together. But then once we did that, we couldn't say to you, nigga, this album, listen to it like an album. We had to put the music out and let people say, damn, nigga, this sound like an album. You dig what I'm saying? But we just had to make sure on our end that we did it correctly and how we wanted. So we made it exactly how we love to hear. We love the Clue mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? For back in the day when the Locks would be on there, or Nas or Hove, sort of verse. So we wanted to make sure that we knocked that shit out up to the standards that we love listening to music. And so when we put it out and it connected with people, it was just a testament to us really taking our talent and making sure that we did that shit correctly.
What I really respect about, and I'll say with the Clips, right? And I've told you this plenty of times. I really respect the fact that what they did was expand their stage for that space to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? What I mean by that, not to go into a bunch of details, but, however it worked, when it started, at the end of the day, it still needed gasoline, meaning, finances to push this. And I felt like, with the Clips, for them to share their platform and have all you guys as equal partners. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I respected that. You know what I mean?
It was dope.
That to me, I feel like, and I've seen a bunch of groups and artists, they don't work like that. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Was that something that you knew already, or?
No, it was kind of like, it was a brotherhood that we had that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even have to be spoken to. It was like, man, listen, nigga, I think y'all dope. I think you dope. Like, come on, let's do some great shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that don't happen. I didn't grow up with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, we met on some rap shit. Like, nigga, you talented. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with what you doing. We got this going on over here. Come over here and fuck with us. It was genuine.
Yeah, it was genuine. It was like,
And then that kind of, well, let's kind of, I don't want to jump, but that kind of speaks to like what you have now with Pusha, because I know y'all have a really good relationship, and Pusha in particular, for me, he's one of my favorite rappers, strictly because it's like, you always hear the criticism like, yo, he only talk about one thing or this, that, and other thing, yada yada. But I'm like, yo, he talks about that one thing really, really well and shit.
Right.
And the thing is, it's really consistent. It's like, yo, it's like when I know when I go to that store and shit,
I know what I'm getting.
When I'm getting a high quality version of what that is and shit. I'm not gonna get it watered down and shit. So let me just ask the question, and I know where you're from, and I know what your quality standards are. Yeah. Is that really the bonding that y'all have, the quality control aspect of what y'all doing?
Most definitely, because like, in any of the projects that, we worked on, continue to work on, this, that, and the other, we always know what it's supposed to be. We understand what it takes to make something great.
Right.
And you don't compromise that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, man, listen, this is the level that it needs to be at.
Right.
Fuck time. Fuck how much time it may take. You dig what I'm saying? Right. Because it's quality over quantity. You dig what I'm saying? So we make sure that the product is exactly what it's supposed to be. You dial in and you make sure you push your talents until it's everything it's supposed to be. And when it's everything that's supposed to be, then it's going to resonate with the fans.
Right, exactly.
And when the feedback come back in, that's when you know that
because I feel like at a certain point there's a certain honesty in what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like just circling back to the earlier conversation, a lot of times when I have, being a studio engineer, you come across all types of kids who's trying to want to be a part of it and this, that, and other thing. And a lot of times you get in there and they be like, why doesn't the music work and this, that, and other thing? And sometimes, when I'm able to have a conversation with them, I'm sitting there saying to them like, yo, like, some of this ain't you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why should I listen to you talk about some drug shit or whatever and shit where I can listen to somebody who really sounds authentic in the role and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get that from someplace else. So you might want to change, kind of think about that as you going into it like that.
So I guess the question, well, I guess I should have let him.
No. Go.
So I guess the question, because it kind of piggybacks off of what you're saying. So let's say when you guys are in a room, so are you guys able to tell each other pretty much, hey man, I like this. No, this works. No, this don't work.
Hell yeah, 100%.
Without it being issues.
No, never issue. Because the one.
Now I mean discussing it. Now I mean, Grant, you can you could discuss it, say the reason why and that person, But I mean, at the end of the day, is it are you able to say, bro, this ain't it?
Yeah, unequivocally, yes. To me, as being a creative and, and working in different camps, between the Aftermath camp, the Star Trek camp, the Good Music camp for the last 12 years, the one thing is egos get checked at the door. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is in there because ultimately you want to make the best music that you can make. Yeah. So if that's saying, no, that ain't it, or that beat ain't it, you know what I'm saying? Or no, that hook ain't it, that bridge ain't right, that melody is not good, all those things. We had those conversations all the time, because ultimately when you walk away, you want to walk away feeling like that's that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's many times that, you have the luxury to be in the studio to say, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Let's come back. And then you come back and it's like, okay, no, this is it. You know what I mean? So we definitely had those discussions to make sure that everything is right and everything is supposed to be.
That's what's up, man. Yo, so I always listen because I'm talking to Liva, right? So he always tells me like a good story, like one of these stories, right? This is a clip story. No, this is not a clip story. This is a re-up gang story. Liva, you have to tell them.
Which one?
Listen.
Hold on. Poppy don't snitch, and we don't do that on here. So don't incriminate no one. And shit, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna be careful which story I'm gonna ask for. Some of them might be incriminating. No, listen. He has to tell us this story, right? About the one time, Liva. Tell him about the story when you was in the limo.
Oh, the limo story.
Yes, the limo. Right. You got to tell him the limo story.
All right.
When I tell y'all, listen, this is the funniest story ever, dog. Yeah. So I don't even want to hype it up.
We were on the road, man. On the Clips tour, one of the Clips tours. and we had an after party to go to, and we were somewhere like in the Midwest. I'm not sure what city, Oklahoma City, maybe something like that. So we had the after party. So when we leaving, they had sent a limo for us, and even back then, on the Clips, tour dates, the limos was kind of like nobody was doing limos no more, but the promoter was making sure we got to
the prom type limo.
It was a prom type, with the little liquor joints in there, the little champagne, yeah, full on limo with the lights, all that,
right?
Yeah, I mean, so we about to leave the after party and go back to the hotel. So one of the homies that was on the road with us, my man CJ, was trying to get this young lady, to go back to the room with him. So, we get back to the limo and whatnot, and we all getting in. So CJ's getting in last, and he got the young lady by the hand, trying to have her get into the limo.
Right.
So she grabbed one of her friend's hands, trying to pull the friend too, like not to come by herself, but to pull her friend too.
Right.
Yeah, but the friend, I want to say, was a guy.
Right.
Who was a little flamboyant, So CJ didn't want that energy in his mix. Right?
Yo, you see how careful he is? 2022.
It's 2022, dude. You know what I mean?
So bridging the gap.
So CJ didn't want the spiciness in his mix, right? So he was telling the girl, like, no, you come on, but your friend, gotta chill. So the girl my friend with me, and he like, listen, you got to come with your friend. So it was a kind of tug of war with him and the friend. Well, the friend gets upset, right, and goes back to the car that I guess he came in and whatnot. Right. And it was a few of them, and it was in a big white Bronco, big Jeep with big tires. It looked like O.J. Simpson like joint.
Right. So
they get upset. So we in a limo. So we about to pull off. The O.J. truck comes and jumps over the medium and just parked right in front of us like a standoff, right? So a gun is pulled from their car, right? We got security with us. My man Mo, who was the security, he was Britney Spears security, old head. He jumps out with a 38. With a 38. He got a 38. Exactly. They got a gun in the car. So the security from the club, they pull shotguns out because they don't know what's going on. It's like a standoff, right? Meanwhile, we in the back of the limo, stuck, caught like deers in headlights, right? Like, yo. So the limo driver, so the security tell limo driver, pull off. So the limo driver, he's pissed because he's sitting in the front right there with the gun on him or whatnot. So he pulls off. He jumps on the E-way and start doing about 80 miles an hour in a limo, swerving, crying. He gets on the phone crying
he's
and
emotional.
call his man. And this is what he said. Shorty, they pull guns. Meet me with them things, Shorty. Meet me with them things. They pull guns, Shorty. Meet me with them things. Meanwhile, we in the back of the limo swerving. He crying, doing 80 miles an hour in a limo. We get back to the hotel. He drop us off, and all we hear is he pull off. I think he killed somebody that night. I can't say for certain.
You want to go out on a limb,
but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say somebody didn't make it home that night. The man was crying on the phone. I don't know who was on the other end of that phone, but Shorty was coming with them things.
Robin told me that story, man. Yo, I couldn't breathe.
Oh my God. Oh man.
I said, yo, y'all was in the back of the limo. He said, nigga, we was in the back of the limo the whole time.
Swerving. The man crying, doing 80 miles an hour in a limo.
What he said?
Meet me with them things, Shorty. They pull guns, Shorty. They pull guns.
Like, yo, I told Live, I said, you know what it is? Bull couldn't believe what this other bull pulled. You know me.
Yeah, you know me.
You know me.
Yeah. I'm at work and niggas gonna do this. Yeah. Oh, it was wild. That was a wild night, man.
That struck a nerve with you.
Yeah.
I told y'all, man. I could pluck them all day from him. If he had all day, I could pluck them all day. Yo.
That's great.
Man.
But that was the extent of the great. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody died. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that we know of. That we know of.
Nobody died.
We'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? We'll leave the story end on a good note. Oh my gosh.
Ain't no timestamps.
No timestamps.
We good.
hopefully, Shorty, man, you're all right.
Shorty.
Hopefully, Shorty talked down off that bridge.
Because he was going there. The man was crying. He didn't even know us. He was crying in front of us. He didn't even know us.
That's how. Yo, you know a nigga mad when
he cried.
He cried and he don't even care.
He don't even care.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Yo, I want to talk about Ab-Liva 2022.
Yeah.
Got a project coming out.
Got a project coming out.
But I'm gonna go back a little bit. Last project you put out, you and Spade. Shout out Spade.
Shout
right?
out. Hollow represent.
Yeah, it was called.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Hollow.
That's where I'm from. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man.
Shout out Spado. First of all, I just want to say, right?
I'm proud of Spado, man.
I'm
super proud of Spado, man.
Me too.
That's my guy and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So I gotta say, right? And again, I'm gonna do this again. Listen, I'm a hard critic, right? So Liva, this was, what was that? Was it, I ain't gonna say, was it 2019?
Oh yeah, 2019 we put it out.
They put it out, right? And Liva said, yo, Funk, I want you to come out to our listening party, right? So I said, all right. I said, that's cool. I said, I think I had to go to Vegas or some shit like that. So right before that, but I said, I'm gonna make some time. I'm gonna come down there, right? I go down there, right? It's him and Spade, a bunch of other rappers, Gil and them was all down there, right? So they play the album, right? Now again, I am very hard.
You're a hard critic.
Yeah,
he my friend. He pulls no punches.
Grand Chief Hater.
Listen,
I'm not a hater.
What time is it?
That's my man. That's my man.
Chief
But he
Hater,
pulls
what
no
time
punches.
is it? P.
He pulls no
Grand
punches.
Chief Hater, what time is it? P.
No, listen. No, it's just, you know what it is? And I tell Liva this, right? We'll be riding the car, whatever, right? And I tell him, it's not that. I just listen to music like a regular fucking fan. Like, you know, I'm the guy that you trying to sell to. So if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. The only problem is I just probably say it. That's what it is. But, you know, getting back to the first project you guys had, not gonna lie, very, very fucking impressed. And I told you that, and I told Spade that, but, you know, I want to go on camera and say, very, very, very impressed. And the reason why I was impressed by it was the fact of the feeling that I got out of it was you guys didn't really care trying to get to the masses. I felt like you guys are just trying to get to the people that like y'all. That's it.
Yeah.
Or in music that you know you guys can make and love. If that makes if I explain it.
Well, let me expound on that a little bit. What we did was initially when we said we were going to do a project together, it kind of started from us having a conversation about where we thought music was.
Okay.
And Spade kind of being like disappointed and just like, yo, like it's a lot of shit that's not resonating with me. You know what I mean? And you see some shit win, and not from a hating standpoint, but just a balance standpoint. Like, okay, I hear a lot of this, but I don't hear this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, listen, man, I got a Gmail full of beats and a bunch of, producers I'm cool with.
It don't sound like nothing that was out.
And what we did was we tried to lock in and do what we love to do. What we did, the type of music we love listening to. You dig what I'm saying? So it was like, man, let's find beats that we feel like are dope. Let's do it exactly how we want to do. As opposed to somebody saying, oh, you should try this sound or you should go after this. Nah, nigga, this beat hard as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this beat hard. Like,
my favorite record is Red Leather.
Oh no, thank you.
That's my favorite record on that joint.
And thank you, man. That's a lot of people's favorite. Actually,
listen, it's so funny, right? So we're out together, right? Yeah. So my lady and Liva brings his wife out, right? So we're at dinner. We're going to see New Edition, right? Yeah. So we're at New Edition. We're eating dinner, right? And my woman says, "Listen, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, she's been telling me this in the car. So Liva and them, this is how much I like that record. It made it to my rotation.
No, this shit is like, in my rotation.
No, look, it fucked him up one day. No, listen, it fucked him up one day, right? We're riding up the fucking turnpike one day, right? We was going shopping or some shit, right? So we're riding up and his song comes on, right? So Liva looks and says, "Oh, you like that?" I said, "Yeah, no, you made my fucking rotation."
It's relatable though.
So my point is, right? So my lady, she's in the car, so she's listening to the record all the time. It's in my rotation. So she told Liva, right? She always tells me, she says, if I ever see or talk to Liva, I would never tell him that I really like that song. I says, why? She's like, I don't want him to think no other. I said, he's an artist. So when we got out, the first thing she said was, I'm not gonna lie. That song that you got with the girl singing, she don't know the name.
Right.
She said, with the girl that's singing on there,
right.
she says, I love that song. She said, I just want to tell you, I love that song. Lava says, thank you. She's like,
Yeah. Nah, most definitely. And, and a testament to like, what I was speaking to about like dope music and making sure everything is supposed to be. That Red Leather, that song, that beat and that hook, I had for like 6 years.
Really?
Before y'all heard it on Glory.
That's what happened. You making timeless music.
Yeah, but that's something that's timeless because I knew that beat and that hook was dope when I first heard it. But I didn't have a project coming out. I was working on A&R and then, working on a bunch of other projects. So when I got to Glory and I still had that beat, I was like, this shit fire. I said, I'd have had it for some years, but this shit fire. Nobody's ever heard it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, so when we laid verses to it and then I listened back to it, I was like, nah, this shit, it's dope. I feel like it's connect with people. Yeah. So to put it out and, and people definitely resonate with that joint. It just let me know that, my instincts were right. Like, it didn't matter how long I had that beat or how long it was
Everybody
sitting.
relates to that joint.
Yeah.
So I guess the question, because a lot of people ask me, right? They say, like, especially older artists, like, should they keep going on with their dream, their music?
You making good music, you making good music.
They'll say, how does Lava, because that was one of the examples that one of the artists told, one of my homies and like an artist asked me, like, how does Lava and Spade do it? So like, I guess the question is, how do you keep the fire? How did both of y'all keep the fire and say, you know what, this is what I want to do, but I'm not more so trying to shoot for mainstream radio. Like, at what point, what do you say for artists? Like, do you say the older you are, do you still, like, when do you say when? I guess that's what the person is trying to say.
Okay. Well, here's how I look at music, because it's not like you're an athlete, because when you get older, you can't run as fast. You can't jump as high. Right. You know what I'm saying? That just happens. Yeah. But creativity is all mental. Right. It's how far you can push yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a true believer that you can always ascend if you're really dope and you keep pushing yourself and you had the talent and the skill set to be able to do so.
No one ever questions whether B.B. King was old enough to play guitar. No one ever questions whether
exactly. You did it at a high level. So with me, being able to work on the music that I've been able to work on, be it Star Trek, be it Aftermath, be it good music.
Like, how do you stay relevant or keep up with?
And I can adapt, as music changes sonically each few years. I knew early on in my career that I can adapt. As music changes, I can adapt with it.
No matter
be able to whatever the sonic is, I could do something dope to it. So once I understood that I had that skill set, then it was a matter of just working on it and just keep making sure that I'm sharp at what it is I'm doing. Because whenever I work on records or projects or whatever, I write for Kanye for like the last 4 albums, I want to say. Yeah. I got to do what I feel like is dope, what I feel like is hot, what I feel like is slick. I got to look at something and be like, that's corny. No, I wouldn't do that or whatnot. So I got to rely on my gauge for what I feel like is dope and what's not dope, and being able to understand that I have to rely on this to know what I'm doing. So when I understand that skill set is still sharp and I still can do it. Like, I was just nominated for 2 Grammys for Donda album.
Congrats. Shout out.
So when I understand that I still can do this at a high level, it was like, man, listen, this shit I can do. If I felt like I couldn't do this, then I'd sit down. Yeah. You think, like, honestly, like if I felt like, if I made music.
Like when we made music and you said,
no, that ain't it.
Yeah.
I'm just go sit down. Okay. I'm not impressing myself. Okay. I got to do music that I'm impressed by. You know what I'm saying? So when I get to work,
do you realize what lane do you supposed to be in, or do you say I could do any lane? No. Well, here's the thing. I won't do any lane for myself, but I could do a lot of. I work on a lot of things outside of something that you think that you would hear. Yeah. That you would hear and you would have no idea that I had a hand in that or I created that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, there's a pat on the back to me because, like, you like that. And you didn't know I had anything to do with that. So it's just a testament to my skill set, to be able to do it. So I could work in a bunch of different wheelhouses. But for myself, I wouldn't do that.
80% of this business is your taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I was listening to an engineer, Dave Pensado, and he talked about, he basically talking about, engineering, whatever. He's like, you can have a bunch of tools in engineering. what I'm saying? Yeah, but 90% of it, you don't get paid for your skill, you get paid for your taste.
Yeah.
And, a record can sound like anything and shit, you know what I'm saying?
But basically, anybody can press the button.
Most definitely.
It's what you do with those buttons.
Yeah. So when Spade and I, when we locked in initially working on Glory, first of all, it was a matter of just seeing just sonically what it would sound like. And us going in the studio and doing a few records and being like, oh, okay, cool. Yes. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, just talent-wise, just skill set-wise, you know what I mean, shit is still sharp. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Because if I didn't feel like, no, the skill set was there, like, nobody would never hear it. You dig what I'm saying? But once I knew that, oh, no, the skill set is there, and I know how to create records. Like I said, I worked in Aftermath Camp initially. I worked in Star Trek Camp for years, and I worked in Good Music Camp. So I learned how to put records together, especially working with the Dream, like, over the last, 6 or 7 years. Yeah. I understand what it takes to put records together. Especially working with Kanye closely and whatnot. Yeah. Understand what it takes to put records together. So bringing all those skills to my skill set and working on music, is kind of easy at this point. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just a matter of just making sure it's exactly how I want to do it.
Are y'all
exactly how Spade.
Are y'all doing that again?
Yeah, we working on a project right now, and it's fucking crazy.
I know, man. I've been trying to get down to these sessions, but these boys put in work like regular work days, man. Like, they do work hours, bro. Like, I be like, yo, who records like that?
That's grown man.
That's grown man shit,
right? Grown man shit,
yeah, man.
No, it's grown man shit, man.
I see that, man.
Back when you was younger, you do the fucking 3, 4 in the morning.
3, 4 in the morning.
Nobody got time for that shit, man. We gonna lock in. We gonna get home and go home and eat that and put the game on and shit, man.
So I know you're a guy that likes to take their time, right? With projects, right? So Glory, the first one. So how long did that actually?
Now with Glory, it was kind of weird because we started working on Glory and locked in on it, and then Spade had to sit down for a second. You know what I'm saying? So when he had to sit down, it wasn't enough records for a whole project. You know what I mean? Because he was like, yo, man, if we got enough, just put the joint out. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, it's not.
It's not there yet.
I know what it takes to get these projects, just from A&R and shit. I know what it takes, for it to be a cohesive body of work. And I knew we didn't have enough there. So I was like, well, listen, man, I'm just sitting on this until you back home. You dig what I'm saying? And we're able to finish it up correctly.
I think that was the right decision.
Yeah.
That was the best
decision. That was the right decision.
So then when he came home, when he came home, I listened through what we had.
Was that a back and forth discussion, or was that something like, I agree?
Yeah. He agreed once I said that. I mean, initially he was just like, as opposed to, feeling like, man,
because I feel like sometimes an artist might feel like what they might have said might be dated, things like that.
When he came home, I listened through what we had to see what still sounded good and what may have sounded dated. And the shit that sounded dated didn't make the cut. You know what I mean? But the shit that I felt like stood up.
Yeah,
Red Leather was one of them and whatnot. Yeah, so we went in and we knocked out a bunch of other records. So actually, it took like maybe 2.5, almost 3 years for Glory, the first one. Okay. Because we started and we stopped for like a year. Okay. Before we got back in. But with this new project, we both locked in and whatnot. So it's been like 2 months.
2 months, I think.
2 months, and we not far off from being done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we saying, summertime?
June.
Look at Nard. Nard like
June.
Some dates.
Yeah, June. I'm gonna say June for certain.
That's wow.
Because really March and April we've been locked in, and like right now we like, I want to say, we passed 2/3 the way done. Yeah. I just got to be comfortable with music is like Tetris to me. Yeah. Everything is close, but it ain't all lined up. Yeah. But we not far off though.
Let me ask you another question. How much performing do you do?
Well,
because I know you spend a ton of time in the studio. How much actual?
Well, here's the thing. Over the last few years, I've been concentrating more on between songwriting and A&R and shit. So I haven't been doing a lot of performing. Right. And it's cool because I ran around for years on the road with the clips. That shit was tight.
Everybody.
No, listen. I know
the pandemic really got everybody into the same mindset.
The funny part about it is, this boy, every time I talk to him, right, he'd be like, yeah, so I'm on my way to Germany. Then he told me one time, I forget, it was a weird fucking country. This boy told me. I said, that place even exists. I had to look that shit up. I didn't want to feel stupid, right? So I kind of went along with the conversation, like, I know. I was like, I really didn't know it. So
as fun as touring is, I haven't been doing a lot of it, and it's cool because like it's a lot. It takes a toll on you.
Like
touring. No. It takes a toll on you. So the creative aspect, like the creation of music and whatnot, I've been really enjoying. And when it come out and they connect with people, but hopefully we'll do some maybe spot dates for stuff when we put this out. So we get a little chance to do that.
Go ahead.
Good.
Can I ask you about Ant? What's up with Ant?
Man, that's what I was about to jump on.
That's my guy.
Yes, you got an artist. Yes, Ant White.
Ant, fucks with Ant.
All right, so I like Ant.
Yeah, I do. Good dude.
I didn't get a chance to hear entire project. I think the one he had prior to this. I did hear a couple of songs you did play. Yeah. But from what I did listen to, I did like him.
And it's fire, man. And it's fire. So he's locked in the studio working. We always working. We never stop working. So he had a project that he just put out. He got visuals like dropping on it. Like he got something coming out.
I just saw a video.
Yeah. He just put a joint out, and they got another one that's about to come out. That's crazy. And a lot of it is just lining up the pieces. So between the visuals he has being shot, he hooked up with a dope director from Philly who shoots a lot of future shit, and they doing some real dope shit visually. Yeah. So between the music, the visuals, and just lining everything up, that's what Ant is.
So wait a minute, man. So you can tell us the truth, man. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but it was Ant hard to really mold. You can tell the truth, live.
No, man. Listen.
Did he listen to the Don? Yes, did he listen to him?
He did, man. And what's so dope about when you work with another creative that has a really dope talent. Yeah. As they learn, they get what you're saying, and then they put their own spin on it. Because when we're in the studio working on anything, I like to do things for you to be able to see and understand why I did that, or why I said that, or why that happens. And now once you know it, you know it. Mm-hmm. So now you can apply it to what you do, but just put your own spin on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So for him to be in the studio and we work on so many things, and then I see him put a spin on it, you dig what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, I wouldn't have thought to do that. You know what I mean? But it's just a testament to, being a student and learning and understanding that you're dope too. So you're going to put your spin on it to make, it into your own, which is dope.
So do you learn from some of these young guys?
Of course I do. Like, man, I love hearing like fresh, dope talent that, brings something new and dope to the game, because it's a different perspective.
So you're not one of these quote unquote old heads that be like shitting on young niggas. Be like, these young niggas don't even know what hip hop is, man. Not when I was listening to it.
Yeah, because what you got to understand is when for niggas, especially for my generation, when we were doing our thing in young niggas, motherfuckers before us, like, get the fuck out of here. The fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, even if I hear shit now that's not my cup of tea, I'm not hating on it. Yeah. Like, it's for who it's for. You know what I'm saying? It's for the audience that it's for. Now, and then I had to step back and like look at music and accept it for what it is, because if I'm in my car, there's certain things I want to listen to. There's certain shit I'm not going to put on in my fucking car. But if I'm in a little night spot, you know what I'm saying, and I got a drink in my hand, a lot of that shit fit, you know what I'm saying?
What that mood is. That's
what that mood is.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Music is a function of society.
So, you know what I'm saying? So listen, look, because I know, Lava, he did tell us he had to go. So look,
your late ass. We're saying out
loud.
No,
listen. It was me.
This is really unscripted.
It was me. But before he goes, right, because I told you he has a plethora of stories, right? I have to pluck one more, y'all.
One more
story from Lava.
Pull the one that I heard that time.
I'm going to pull that one. Right?
That was hilarious.
So me and Lava, we talk a lot about movies and things like
all the time.
All the time. We talk about movies we like, what we don't like. Mm-hmm. We go back and forth. Sometimes I'll be like, Lava, you tripping? Sometimes he say, Funk, I don't even know why you're wasting your time looking at that shit. Mm-hmm. But it was this one particular movie, right, that we were talking about, right? And it was Bamboozle. Now, for all y'all, young motherfuckers, man, it's a real old movie by Spike Lee. It was one of them, in that era of, message time, right? So me and Lava's talking about it, right? And so I tell Lava, I was like, it wasn't an all right movie. It was that's what I said. So
and just give a little background. Yeah. It was like it's a lot of racial shit in the movie. Like they went blackface with the red lips. And
in fact, you know what? Because I don't want to fuck the story up, because listen, when I tell you this shit is hilarious, right? So I'm gonna let Lava go with it. But if the story starts with the movie Bamboozle.
So I was living in LA. That's when I was out there working with Dr. Dre. And me, my manager Wizard, my man BR, we were all out there kicking it and whatnot. And we ran into Charlie Mack. And Mac was like,
shout out Mac, man.
Charlie Mack.
Shout out Charlie Mack.
Shout out.
And Mac was like,
Charlie,
we went to like a celebrity basketball game. And after the celebrity basketball game, he was like, yo, man, let's stop at the movies and check out Bamboozle. Jada Pinkett was in there. You know, he Will Smith folks and whatnot. So he like, man, let's go support. It was the opening weekend and shit. So we stopped in a movie theater in LA, and it was like a real like ritzy, like Caucasian area and whatnot. So we go to the movie in there. We go to see Bamboozle. I have no idea what the movie is about. No. So I go into a movie theater full of white people and watch Bamboozle.
Wait a minute, it's just you?
It's me, Charlie Mack.
So it's all the tall dudes. It's all the big black dudes.
It's all the big black dudes. Right? It's all of us in a movie theater full of white people. So while we watching Bamboozle, I'm seeing all these racial jokes and they calling us moon crickets and all types of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you dig what I'm saying? They got the black face on and they in there laughing. The white people in there laughing.
Mind y'all, this is a young Lava.
Yeah, this young Lava. So I'm pissed off. So I'm in the movie. I can't even enjoy the movie because I'm upset that all the white people ain't laughing at this shit. You dig what I'm saying? I've never been called a moon cricket before. I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
I was going to jump out the window.
Right? So a moon cricket. So when we exit the movie, right, when we all come out, I mean, they was like, man, Charlie Mack was like, man, the movie was all right. I said, man, that shit wasn't all right. I'm in a theater full of white people. You get what I'm saying? Watching this shit, and they telling all these racial jokes and shit. I was like, Bamboozle some bullshit. I was like, Spike Lee could have got his message across a whole lot better than what he did, right? So I was like, and if I ever see him, I'ma tell him. So fast forward, about 8 months later,
on site,
me and my man BR that was with me at the movie theater. We hanging out and on Sunset Boulevard. We go out to a club. I mean, we getting drinks and shit. So we a little tipsy and whatnot. So we come out. We go to the valet to get the car. Who waiting for a valet to get their car? Spike Lee. My man look at me and say, "Nigga, there you go, right there."
Oh man, you had no choice.
I had no choice. So I walk up to Spike Lee, right? I look at him, I say, Bamboozle was some bullshit. It was a better way to get your point across. I feel bad being a black man sitting in a theater full of white people watching this shit. He got mad as shit. He was like, you was supposed to get more out of it than that. Man, if Spike Lee was 6 inches taller, he would have stole me. He was mad as shit. He paced around. Listen, he left his woman standing there. He kept pacing around like, nigga, you was supposed to get more out of it than that. I said, nigga, I didn't. His car pulled up. He jumped in the car and sped off and shit. And my man said, nigga, you had to tell him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I pissed Spike Lee off that night.
Oh, that is
damn.
ridiculous. Oh, man. It's so crazy though how kind of like foretelling that movie was though.
Most definitely.
Like, it's kind of weird.
I ain't never called nobody a moon cricket though.
Listen,
I never even heard that.
I never heard that shit before.
Yo, when this boy told me that story, man, I couldn't fucking catch my breath, man. I told you, man, he got a million stories.
Oh
man.
gosh.
I'm not gonna pluck another one. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Every time I hear that, it give me tears, man. Like,
That is ridiculous.
I play it out of my head. I can see Spike Lee.
But that's real. Only a nigga from Philly. Really, you know what I'm saying? For real.
My man said, there you go right there. Nigga, what you gonna do?
Yo, that's definitely some Philly.
What you gonna do? Like, are you serious? Like,
it's always that one.
let me show you, man. Like what?
Lava said, I had to do it.
I had to do it.
Yeah,
Had to
man.
do it.
Go tell
Peer
him.
pressure.
Straight up.
I think that was almost as bad as when I told Lupe Fiasco that his first album. I remember I was interviewing him on Batcave Radio, and I was talking to him, and I was like, "Yo, that first album, fire, man! Kick, push, all that, John, all of it." I was like, "I like 7 of them, Johns." I said, but that second one, I think something like, I told him something.
Grand Chief Hater, what time is it?
I did.
That's it.
I was like, yo, man, I said something like I wouldn't break Bud up on it or something.
Oh, yeah. When it used to be the CDs, break it up on the
Oh,
CD.
you did it on Batcave Radio?
Yeah, I did that on Shout Out Batcave Radio.
Shout out. See?
I did, man.
Yeah.
Lupe didn't like that one. I think the only one I think was worse than that one was
Battle Rapper.
The Battle
The
Rapper.
Battle
yeah.
Rapper.
So real quick, battle rapper. He came up Backcade Radio. What was his name?
I can't remember it right
he
now.
battled the white boy. He battled Ness, and he beat him in a battle. It was in Florida. Oh man, what is
Ron?
No.
No.
It wasn't wrong.
Disaster?
He's not from Philly though.
No, he's not from Philly.
Disaster?
No, this boy went from here.
No, I'm talking about Disaster's from L.A. The white boy from L.A.
No. It was what it'll come to me, man, in a minute, right? So what
Just
happened?
go look up old Backcade Radio.
So what happened was, right? So prior to him coming up, a week before that, shout out DJ Quick.
Shout out.
Shout out to Quick.
So
Shit.
he plays the bull record. So honestly, like all battle rappers, I feel like they can't make records. They're fucking horrible. I feel like that. But
I remember that.
he played the bull's record, right? And the shit was trash. Like live, it was trash. And then in fact, what happened was on the air while he was playing it,
Like,
I started talking in the middle. I said, "Oh, what we doing? Man? We can't play this trash, right?" So I'm saying this all on the air, right? Like I'm saying this a week before he gets there. Right now, he doesn't even know it because he's not from Philly. So all of a sudden, Quick runs into the room. And he says, "Yo, that's the boy that's coming on next week." I said, "Ooh," I said, "Oh well, but we can't play it no more because it's trash." Right? So Bull slides up the next week, right? He's super geeked to get on Backcade Radio. He's seen us on World Star, shit like that. He couldn't wait. You can see it in his eyes, right? So I get there, right? So he gets there, he sits down, and I open up the interview and I tell him, I said, "Man, listen, I'm not gonna lie.
This guy.
Last week, I mean, what was I going to do? I can't play his record and say, yo, this is the shit now.
Yeah.
Last week, man, I'm not going to lie, man. I played your record. I trashed the record." He said, he just looked at me. He's like, "Huh?"
That shit was so funny, yo.
I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, I said, but maybe it's just not my cup of tea. So we'll play the record again. And so, right, so.
I'm crying. I got
So
tears in my eyes.
So Nars recording all this,
yo.
right?
I'm
so
crying.
we play the ball record again. The room's silent, right?
Silence.
Yo, so I try to because like Lava said, because the white boy is like this short. Like if he maybe like about 2-3 more inches, man, he probably would have tried to steal me. Yeah. Like he jumped right over that counter, right up there at the beat.
1.3 to beat.
Yep. Try to steal me, right? So we play the record, right? And so I'd say, you want to do a freestyle? He gave me like a half-ass freestyle, right? Something that was trash.
That didn't make it better.
Yeah, it didn't make it better, right? And then after it was over, he was the only one that, like, as soon as the interview was over, the mic's turned off. He didn't say peace. He didn't say, "Yo, I respect what you was talking about, man." Nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to do that shit.
It was Quick fault. He played his fucking record a week before it, man. Like, what the fuck? It didn't tell me what it was. I just thought it was a record, man. I was like, what the fuck are we playing this for? I was like, come on.
And then we used to hop on and be like, "No, this record trash."
Yeah, I'd be like, trash.
Like,
Trash.
for real,
It
was
like,
genuine feedback.
It was.
You know,
I mean,
it was real.
I mean, you motherfuckers be needing that, man.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes, man. Like, I ain't too bad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everybody be getting participation awards now and shit. That's a different. That's a code. That's a code we didn't come up on either. We didn't just have participation awards for just rapping and shit.
But look, I got a bunch of stories, and he got a bunch of stories. I can go on forever, But we're gonna let Mr. Ab-Liva go.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me.
Listen, man,
it's always a good time, man. Good conversation and shit
and
whatnot, man.
It wasn't too bad. See, man, look, usually, man, back in the day, I'd be asking real questions, man. So listen, man. Let's get into this really, man.
Let me get this Kanye dirt. Let me get the Kanye gossip.
But nah, man, this is my guy, man. Yo, 20-something years strong.
20-something years, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you coming
Keep
through.
it going, man. It's awesome.
Yes.